You've been taught that tone production comes down to three variables: weight, speed, and contact point. But what if that model is incomplete? In the last video, I introduced the traction model, which explains what's underneath the big three and incorporate many more variables into the same framework. If you haven't seen that video yet, I recommend watching it first. I'll link it below and up here on the screen. In this video, we'll go beyond the big three variables and see how others, like bow angle and hair contact, affect traction between the bow and the string and the tone that you produce. Let's dive in. Before we dive into the variables, let's take a moment to revisit the stick-slip phenomenon, the basic physics concept behind tone production. When your bow moves across the string, it doesn't glide smoothly, it sticks to the string, then slips free over and over, making the string vibrate and produce sound. A balanced stick-slip lets the string vibrate freely, producing a healthy full sound. This balance comes from having the right amount of traction, which governs stick-slip. All the variables we'll discuss influence traction, and that's why understanding each is essential to your tone production. When I tried to list every variable that influences traction, I quickly realized it would be an endless endeavor. The deeper I looked, the more subtle factors kept appearing. So the goal of this series isn't to give you a complete list, but to show how variables fit into the traction model. Examining them shows both the complexity of tone production and the simple thread of traction that ties them all together. Take a look at this diagram showing the traction spectrum. Warm colors indicate higher traction, cooler colors indicate lower traction. As I mentioned a moment ago, healthy tone production lies at the center of the traction spectrum, where the stick-slip balance allows the string to vibrate freely. The goal of adjusting variables is to keep the total traction in the healthy zone. You can download a PDF of this chart in the link in the description below. The variables we're covering in this video can be directly controlled to regulate traction. We'll call these active variables. You can't adjust every variable during a performance. Some come from the instrument or the environment, like string tension, humidity, and the amount of rosin on your bow. These still affect traction, but you need to respond to them rather than directly change them. We'll call these given variables and discuss them in the next video. The first variable we'll look at is weight. When you increase bow weight, you increase traction. To apply weight effectively, use natural arm weight rather than muscle pressure. At the frog, a hanging arm weight can be felt most easily. At the tip, the first finger and the thumb work through torque to transfer arm weight to the string. For a more detailed guide on setup, check out my kinetic chain video. The link is in the description. It's also worth noting that weight is the variable most directly tied to dynamics. You can't play loudly with a light bow or softly with a heavy one. So here's an exercise to feel the stick in the stick slip. Try wiggling the string with the bow. If the bow grabs the string without making sound, you have enough weight. For a challenge, try this at the tip of the bow. Bow speed also directly affects traction. When you move the bow slower, you increase traction. Think of it like a car on the road. Slower speed gives your tires more grip. I've also found bow speed to be the variable most closely tied to tone color. Within the healthy traction zone, faster bow speeds help you produce a more transparent, resonant tone as the string vibrates more widely. Slower speeds narrow the vibration of the string, focusing the sound and adding more core and complexity by generating overtones. A great way to practice controlling bow speed is with bow sweeps. Using a metronome, gradually increase the amount of bow you use while still changing with the beat. Notice how maintaining healthy traction requires adjusting variables. For a challenge, try this exercise while keeping a specific tone color in mind, like focused or transparent. Contact point is another variable that directly affects traction. When you play further from the bridge, you increase traction. It might feel counterintuitive, but greater traction simply means the bow engages the string more easily. Closer to the bridge, there's less natural traction, so you need more weight and slower speed to stay in the healthy zone. Just so you know, this idea is expanded in the next video when we discuss string length. Contact point can be controlled by both bow placement and using the bow angle to steer the bow to different parts of contact on the string. Along with speed, contact point also strongly influences tone color. Closer to the bridge generally helps you produce a more focused, core forward sound, while further from the bridge creates a more resonant, transparent sound. To practice controlling contact point, try a long bow exercise. Set your metronome to 60 and see how long you can hold a single bow while maintaining healthy traction. The longer you hold the note, the closer the bridge you need to be and the slower you need to pull the bow. For a challenge, try this in the upper ranges of the cello. When you move the bow perpendicular to the string, it transfers energy most efficiently. When perpendicular, the bow's motion aligns with the string's vibration, which is also perpendicular. This alignment also helps you to maintain a consistent contact point. If the bow strays from 90 degrees, the string vibrations can push it up or down, causing an unintended change in contact point, a common symptom of a crooked bow. You can adjust bow angle in many ways: torso rotation, shoulder rotation, elbow extension, and wrist bending, depending on the string and the part of the bow you're using. Turning your torso slightly left aligns with the higher strings, while turning it right aligns with the lower strings. The owl is a great way to practice bow angles. Slur all the strings from A to C in a single bow, turning your upper body to the right. Start up bow to feel how the wrist bends at the frog on the lower strings. You can play open strings or add a simple left-hand figure to each string for an extra challenge. When you place more hair in contact with the string, you increase traction. In normal playing, the surface of the hair of your bow is slightly tilted relative to the string. Bow weight can help flatten the hair on the string, increasing hair contact without adjusting anything else. However, when you play with a light weight, less hair touches the string, which reduces traction. To balance this, you can add traction in several ways, like playing further from the bridge, using a slower bow speed, or in this case, tilting the bow to flatten the hair. For clarity in soft spiccato or sautille, it can help to flatten the hair by curving the bow fingers in or rolling the wrist slightly forward. Flat hair increases traction on the string without having to add extra weight that could sabotage delicate bow strokes. Bending your wrist also gives flexibility to maintain a sautille stroke. Cellist David Finkel demonstrates this beautifully in his Cello Talk number 32, where he advocates for flatter hair at the tip of the bow in legato playing. This is a way to increase traction at the tip without needing extra weight, which can be strenuous in the bow hand. In the next video, we're going to explore given variables, the factors that come from the instrument or the environment that we respond to rather than actively change. If you find videos like this useful, be sure to like and subscribe. You'll get more videos and tutorials designed to give cellists a foundation they need to venture into any style, from classical to contemporary worship teams and beyond. Also, please share this with anyone you think would find it interesting. I'll see you in the next video.